You are tuned into an episode of Choose the Future today on the Faithful Sinners. Welcome back, friends. I wanted to share today on this Choose the Future Today segment a little bit about what it means to have served this country, and from that, how I managed to some of the challenges that have followed that service. Because when I was in the Persian Gulf, I was exposed to potentially a nerve gas. It's unknown, but from that, there have been over the years continuous challenges being experienced. The primary one being related to nerves and pain that is involved in that. I would never say that I wished I hadn't gone in the military, because I thought it was definitely one of the best things I've ever done. Wish I would have been able to complete my career there. But from that, they've done a good job taking care of me, helping out, because I'm an 80% disabled vet, that they provide the financial support for times that I do have challenges, but it doesn't hinder me from really trying to maintain being positive, and working through these challenges, so I can try to live the best life possible. Now, you see in recent videos that I'm pretty active. I try to stay active, cutting down trees and doing yard work, playing with my kids, doing all the things that we would hope to be able to do. But that occurs because there's a lot of preparation before doing those activities. And then there's a lot of follow-up that occurs after doing those activities. But then there's also just ongoing things that have to be done day in and day out to enhance my abilities with addressing the limitations I am experiencing, progressively worsening, unfortunately, with nerve pain that is definitely hands, into wrists, forearms, up into my shoulders, neck, down my back, into my legs, and on and off with involvement of my feet. These are things that are going on 24/7. Um, Pain is constant. Um, no way around it other than managing it. And I refuse to be one of the statistics that jump onto opioids to address the pain. Now, granted, if it gets to a level that I just can't manage anymore, then I guess I will have to look at other alternatives. But for now, how I manage to what is a constant, I would say, level number 4 pain all the time, upwards to 7 and 8 and above, at times when there are spikes. I utilize a few different approaches. One, for sure, is breathing techniques. Lots of different methods out there. You have to kind of explore and practice and see what works best for you. But that tends to be my number one go-to, in addition to doing some tapping techniques. ETF, I believe, is the terminology for it. And with that, that helps to kind of center or ground myself, even though I'm having to do these things while in the midst of that pain. Um, I also use something I picked up from Brendan Burchard on Growth Day, which is the release meditation technique, or RMT. And that I utilize multiple times throughout the day. And that's just simply stepping away from whatever you're doing, ideally trying to do that every 60 to 90 minutes. bouncing in place, closing my eyes, doing some chest taps, and some deep breaths in and out. And as I'm breathing out, saying release, release. And do that 5 to 10 times, and it does definitely help to recenter yourself and bring back some more of that productive mindset. So that's definitely something I utilize throughout my working time. Now, as far as other tools and methods that I use, first and foremost, I would say it's a religious routine where I have exercises that I do in the morning, specifically geared towards strengthening and connecting and helping to stretch out the nerve areas that I'm having challenges with. Number one being hands. As far as the hands go, just to give you some perspective, normally about my age, I'm 57, I should have the ability to have a grip strength of roughly minimally 80 upwards to 120 pounds per square inch. I am currently experiencing right at about now 35-pound grip strength. So massive difference. And in addition, that little muscle that is in here, this pad, for whatever reason, it is deteriorating. They don't know why. And with it, so is the strength in that hand. We've seen elderly people where they hold up their hand and it almost looks like, a thin skin layer in here, no muscle whatsoever. And that's kind of what my hands are deteriorating into. So in order to maintain any kind of strength and control in my hands does require diligence, and that's daily. There are several different items I utilize throughout the day. Again, at night, I will do another series of stretches, different yoga poses, things just to really help keep my body moving and flexible. That's probably the biggest thing, is maintaining flexibility. As far as the pain itself, to give you a good example, is I just showed that part number 4, felling trees video. And that evening, I live alone. My kids are with me every other week. But I found myself yesterday on the couch, laying, kind of reclined back, and from my hips, inside of, actually not my hips, the inside area of my groin on both sides, through my toes, was a debilitating, extremely painful feeling of like a metal rod that is pointed at both ends and jammed up in there and running down my leg. So painful, I could not move even an inch. I couldn't lift my leg. I couldn't do anything. I was literally stuck. Um, and all I could do was breathe through it. As far as the pain, it went on for about 15 minutes. It was actually getting to the point where I was about ready to call 911 because I wasn't sure if it was going to go away. It was actually that painful. It's probably been the first time I've ever experienced something like that. I've had that bar shooting pain in my leg, my right side, just from my hip to my knee before, but never have I experienced it down the entirety of my legs and into my feet, let alone for that length of time. But right about the time I was getting ready to make a call, I started to feel my legs were relaxing a little bit, still maintaining my breathing, and um, it took a couple of tries. But once I stood up, um, I was able to, move back around again. But I noticed as soon as I sat back down, that pain was starting to creep in. So I had to kind of work through that for a while. And that's a new one I'm going to have to figure out a solution to, I guess. Hopefully, that's not a common recurrence because, oh my goodness, that was intense. So for you veterans that are out there, I understand. I have minimal challenges comparative to some of you guys. That's for sure. But it doesn't minimize the intensity and the challenges that I go through. Now, I bring all this up um, because, like I said, I have gone through rounds and rounds and rounds of physical therapy. I've had multiple tests and CAT scans and MRIs. Everything's been done. Nerve tests from head to toe. And oh my goodness, those are a lot of fun. If you've never had your nerves tested, where they do the electric shock therapy basically on your nerves, um, that's an experience. I won't say more because I don't want to deter you from doing what's necessary, but they were shocked I showed up to have it done uh, 3 times. Most people do it once, and that's enough. I am sharing this because there's a lot of people out there that are hooked on drugs as far as these opioids and pain medications. And, I get it. Holy cow. I mean, that would be an easy solution. But I've also seen family members and friends and, just in general, the news, um, the issues that come with that type of therapy. And I've sadly seen, you know, family deteriorate to where you wouldn't recognize them anymore. I've lost a buddy, Steve, because of his challenge with pain management, and where opioids kind of kick-started the downhill spiral. So I've avoided doing all of that. I don't take a bunch of pain medications like Tylenol or ibuprofen or any of that stuff very regularly. I take it when it's absolutely needed. Like last night, I had to take a little bit of Tylenol, and heck, it doesn't really do much other than subside the pain a touch. But it comes down to meditation and breathing, and stretching, um, using a TENS unit, different things to combat the pain. No, I have this being a personal choice why I don't take those medications, those pain medications, and it's because I want to be present. I want to be able to continue to grow personally and professionally, and I feel that those things just slow you down. They hinder your abilities. Plus, I think it's important for my kids to have a father that's present. Uh, that's not locked away in la la land. So, hopefully, if you're managing with pain and challenges, you're finding solutions that are working for you because I feel for you. You know, um, I wish I could offer some kind of magic solution, but I will say also, God is one that I turn to and ask for grace, for relief of the pain. But I also, recognize where he was clear when he had told John that, my grace is sufficient enough. And sometimes we have these pains and challenges because it's meant to help us stay a little dependent upon God, not become too self sufficient. So I embrace the infirmities. I embrace the challenges. Not easy all the time. And for those of you out there that are also experiencing stuff like this, I feel for you. I'm sorry that you're going through it. But I would encourage you, reach out to God and find some inner peace, because that pain is part of, the world we live in that's controlled and owned by the devil. And he's finding ways and whole different host of processes to keep us away from God. And causing us challenges like this is just one of those ways. So I hope that for those of you that watched this and tuned in, this was helpful, gives you some understanding as to how to address pain and challenges a little more effectively. But then if you would do me a favor, hit that follow button on your screen right now, and make sure that you share so that those you know and all of us together in a community can send better together so we can live our best lives. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Faithful Sinners with Timothy E. Baker. And don't forget to visit us at thefaithfulsinners.com.